Welcome back. Another train show review. This is Dylan Hubbard with RWTX. Today we're in Pearland, Texas, which is a suburb of Houston. And this was back on the, let me try to remember, is this the 17th or 18th? Let me look here. The 18th. The show was actually a 2-day show, and but I was only there on the Saturday. But as you saw when we first came in, the building's kind of split into two. We got one big room and then one somewhat smaller room. But both sides, they made it fairly obvious that you're to go to both sides so that no one misses it. So that was good. That first vendor that we saw first with the black tables, I want to point out that he had some 50% off stuff. So he had the best buys of the day. Compared to most vendors anyways. Admission $7 for this show. And for anyone 17 and under, it was free. I do like to see that. This show was called the Houston Area Model Train Show. This was the first time they've ever done this show. And 77 total tables, with 25% of those being HO, another 25-ish being O-gauge. A lot of toys as well, which I consider toys to be like die-cast stuff. Anything that's not, scale. But pretty good amount of stuff. Pretty good amount of layouts. There was 10 layouts. In fact, this is the first show I think I've ever seen that had a layout on display of the, what are they, the seven most common scales. We had one of Z scale, 3 N scale, 1 HO scale, 1 S scale, 2 O, and 2 G. Those are all the layouts. So they got a nice variety in there. That was cool. And like I mentioned, I'd never seen that before, even at big shows. Let's see here. This show, I ended up finding 2 vendors that I bought from. I pointed out the first one, and the second vendor is coming up right up here. This one here. I bought from this person. They seem to be, willing to, take some price cuts to make a sale. So that was good. Here's our first layout. See the big boy there that we just passed? That was some pretty nice layouts. I'll try to point out any of the interesting things that I might have saw. The backside of this 1 N scale layout, not this one, but the next one, kind of the previous one, I guess, because it's the same one we just saw. But they had a lot of nice little scenes on here. Check out all those KCS items. But yeah, there's just a lot of nice stuff, and then you can see this bridge here that's pretty nice. Thought that was a pretty nice scene. And here's the G scale up on the stage. It was a free parking in this at this venue. It was at like an Elks Lodge VFW sort of event center. So yeah, free parking. It kind of seemed far off of the main road, but it is what it is. I heard that things were going pretty well already. Just even on Saturday, that they've already had vendors contact them looking for more space. So it's possible. In fact, I think it's very possible that this show is bigger next year, and possibly at another location, or maybe they somehow expand what they've got going on here to include more tables. 77 tables, that's fairly small. There's this S scale layout here was pretty nice. I wanted to get that information that you just saw, but it's a fairly small show, but you got to start somewhere, and I'm glad that I was able to go to this show with it being their first one. Here's the Z scale layout, by the way. But I'm glad I was able to go for the first one, because it's you know, I think they did a pretty good job. There's only one thing that I guess you could possibly say that I did not like, which is a pretty simple fix. I sold this show, and I had a lot of people ask about an ATM. There was no ATM at this show. So if you happen to go to this show next year, or really, I mean, if you go to any show, bring cash. It does you it helps you out. Let's just put it that way. So no ATM, but you know, if I'm sure they'll have comments that it might prompt them to get one next year. But that's really the only issue I had, which is not a big one. So I would recommend this show. Let's see here. I drove 4 hours, and given the size and given if I was to be a buyer, I don't think I'd want to drive 4 hours for this show, knowing what I know about it. You know, if I was only buying, I would drive 2 hours. So a 2-hour drive on a Saturday morning, you know, you're looking at, I think San Antonio is 2 hours away, maybe Austin. I don't know how far into Louisiana you get that time with that radius, and you know, if they're going to make it bigger next year, then maybe bump that to 3 hours. I don't think, which still isn't quite close enough to me, but I think it's a good start for them, because there's not many shows in Houston, so I was happy with the show. I really was. And what else sort of things we got? Oh, this layout, they had all these twin stack cars going on it. I don't know how many sets he had. I actually saw him with some of the boxes. I mean, is there 10 sets? Are there 10 sets? I think there are. If those were an HO, I would just take them right off the layout and just run. Here's some of the toys, which I had mentioned there's a lot of toys. This is a majority of the toy stuff. But, you know, with Christmas coming up, it's probably something that's pretty popular with people to have some toy options. Here we're going over to the other room, which they had the concession stand in here. They had the G-scale layout, and they had 4 vendors, myself included. So we'll go around here. I don't know if you quite could see it, but they had a Wienermobile in the middle of that G-scale layout, so that was kind of funny. I don't think you can see it. So here's some in-scale stuff. But we are getting close to the end of the video. I'm glad I was able to make this. Here's my stuff. Glad I was able to make this video shorter than the last one. But please give this video a like if you think that you got anything informative out of it, or if it helped you in any way. Also, if you could subscribe to the channel as well. You know, I'll be going to another show here soon, but we'll be kind of closing it up for the year. But I wish you guys a happy holidays, and I will see you next time.